Do you feel like people are messing with your head and playing some sort of game? Hi, welcome to this week's Ask Jay. Jayson Mair here from Jayson Mair Coaching. Thanks for joining it for this week's episode. I'm going to do this a little different this week. I've got a few questions some people have sent in, and they're very similar. I want you to pick what the common theme is in these. Why does my boyfriend take me literally when I say I want to break up, even though I give him clues that I don't? Why did he kiss me on my forehead and send me "I miss you" text if he really doesn't want a relationship with me? And the most popular one I get, my wife tells me to go out and have fun with the boys and friends for a weekend away, but seems to get pissed at me when I do it. What's the common theme here? Yes, I know some of you are thinking, oh, what is going on with these people? Well, that is true, but the common theme is head games. We all do it. We have done it sometime in our relationships within our lives. Sometimes they're very minor little things, like leaving a little catalogue out. You want to leave it on the table hoping that your other half sees it and thinks, oh, maybe that's what they want for Christmas. And then there are other times these head games get so big, especially like that last one I said, where we say we're okay with something and our partner does, and then after they have done it, we sit there brooding. This is what head games are all about. These are examples of what the head games are. And seriously, a lot of questions that are sent in, a lot of times in sessions that people will say to us, why does she say this when she means this? Or why does he do that when he really means that? Well, this is a big dilemma, and it is what I like to call, or don't like to call, a relationship destroyer if you continue to do this. So, there are 3 points, tips I'm going to give you about head games today, and a few of you are probably sitting and go, yes, please help me, because I get that question asked a lot. So, first thing first, first tip is going to be awareness. You need to become aware of what's going on when a head game is being played. And you need to be aware of if they are head games or you're reading them right or wrong or whatever. So, with awareness, you need to look at your environment. Have a look around you, have a look and see if there's anyone, your partner, and also even parents. It might be something that you picked up when you were a kid and you saw your mum do it with your dad, or your dad do it with your mum. But when you look around your environment, that includes everyone, but as well as you. Okay, I'm not pointing, I did point the finger at you, but I'm not saying it's necessarily you. With everything that happens in our relationships, it's always good to go, you know what? Yes, he's doing it, or she's doing it, or they're doing it, but am I doing it as well? And that's what you've got to ask yourself. And look, as I said before as an example, it could be something as little as leaving a catalogue out or leaving hints for Christmas presents and stuff like that. But over the time, over a long relationship, a little thing like, oh, that's cute, in 10 years' time is, why the hell do they do that? Why don't they just open their mouth and ask the question? And this is a really big dilemma. So be aware of the people around you who are doing it, why and what's going on, but especially have a look at yourself. And seriously, just have a quick squeeze and go, okay, if I'm doing it, which leads to the next question, which I nearly said, is why? Why is it happening? Why do we play these head games? Why do you play the head games with the other people? Why do they play with you and everything? With head games, really, and some people get a little annoyed when I say this, it's sometimes, it is a form of manipulation. You think about it. You're trying to get someone to do something you want to do, but you don't want them to know that you're actually trying to lead them to do that. Now, people will say, oh, well, I'm leading them to it. That's not manipulation. It's all a form of manipulation. Everyone hates that word manipulation. And the reason why is the definition means to get someone to do something that you want them to do without them knowing you're doing it. It avoids responsibility. Great, we don't want to take responsibility for it, but when it doesn't go the way we want it, that's when we get cranky and annoyed and go, well, yeah, I said yes, but I didn't think you were actually going to do it. No, that's a head game. That's what's, and look, it comes down to, as I said, manipulation. It sometimes comes from, when I say why, it comes from sometimes like a self-defense mechanism. Sometimes it comes from low self-esteem. Sometimes it comes from old habits, from previous relationships. And also, there are also a learned behavior sometimes that we learn from, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, our siblings and our parents when we're young. We, as a kid, you know, and in psychological studies have shown that between the ages of 0 and 7 is the manual of your life as written. And then from 7 to 15, well, they say 13, I say 15, because at 15 we all think we know everything. But we absorb all the things, and between 7 and 15 we test them to see what works. Now, sometimes we don't even know we're doing it because we don't know what we don't know until we're later in life, and then it gets pulled up. Some people won't pull you up about a mind game. They'll just let you do it and go, that's just the way they are. But what happens is there's a lot of people that just go, I'm not going to put up with it, and they'll leave. Some relationships end because of mind games, and the person is sitting there on the couch or online with me and they're going, I don't know what happened. I thought everything was right, and they're gone. And when you go through it, you find that there's little habits of manipulation or head games or whatever else. And look, it's usually a combination of a lot of things, but this is one particular thing where when you say something, but you mean something else, it doesn't work. Look, relationships take two really big things. They take energy and they take honesty. Now, when I say energy, relationships can be hard, but they shouldn't be hard when you need to be a mind reader of your other half. That has got to stop. You can't say one thing to someone and expect them to know what you really mean when you mean the opposite. You know, it's like I suppose it's like the old cliche, no means yes and yes means yes and whatever. No, it's old school, it's ridiculous, it doesn't need to, it shouldn't be said that. We're in a new millennium and a new time in life, and look, relationships are changing by the day. You know, with technology, with, apps like Tinder and online dating apps and everything. I spoke to someone recently and they said, oh, everyone online dates now. Who meets in person? There are people that meet in person. So when it comes to relationship taking a lot of energy, it wants to be good energy. It wants to be sexual passion energy, or energy to go on holidays, and energy to just love that person, enjoy it, not energy wasted going, what the hell did he say? What did he mean when he said that? Or she said, oh, it was okay for me to do it, but now she's pissed at me. I don't get it. What is going on? Honesty. Good energy and honesty. We need to get to a point where we need to say what we think and mean. Don't accept these mind games, which leads to point number 3, what to do. This is what you're going to do. You have to have clear, direct communication. Now, I'm communicating with you right now, correct? And hopefully I'm trying to be as clear and as direct as possible. There are times where I have couples together and I do a little exercise where I'll say, let's get person A to say how they feel about something. They say it, then I say to person B, can you now, person A, be quiet, you say still, person B, I want you to repeat back to person A what you heard. And 9 times out of 10, it sounds nothing like what person A said to person B. And I have to go, okay, let's do it again. Listen. Now, we get to a point where we get into a bit of a robot mode where we just go, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, no worries. And because sometimes it sounds like a nag. And I'll say to you now, if you're about to say something to someone and you think it might be nagging, it probably is. It's mostly is, really. If you have an inkling and you listen to your gut and you go, oh, I don't want to sound like a nag, but here's a tip. Anything that says anything that has the word but in it, but cancels out everything before, and what you really mean is what you say after the but. So, if you think it's a nag, it is a nag. So you need to get to an idea of how, when I say clear, direct communication, I mean sit down and go, okay, let's use an example of a couple where the husband wants to go away for the boys for a fishing trip and the wife goes, yeah, it's okay. Sit down and say, babe, look, I'm okay with you. Look, I'm not fully okay with you going on the fishing trip because I miss you and I worry about what you boys get up to and everything else. But I do understand that you need your time to do your activities as well as I need to as well. And I need to be able to trust in you to go and do that, have a great time and come back and everything's fine. Because then I'm going to go away with the weekend for the girls and I'm going to have a good time and you're going to have to trust me that everything's going to be fine. Yeah, we'll probably have a few drinks and someone's going to, pass out or spew and might flirt with someone. But it doesn't go any further than that. That's what honesty is about. That's what having trust in it. If you can trust, because what you need to ask yourself is, why am I holding back? If you can't say what you want to say, you need to think about why you can't say it. All right? So think about why. If you're worried about the reaction, maybe it's the approach. I had someone recently say, my wife's driving me nuts because she was nagging me and nagged, but not once or twice, 15 times, to the point I yelled. And he said, I'm sorry, I feel bad that I yelled. But at the same time, she kept at it. So this is where you've got to go, all right, clear communication. Don't treat them like a child, boys or guys or girls. Don't treat your other half as a child. Say it, be clear, ask them if they've understood it and say it back and leave it at that. And listen. And when I say don't be a nag, say it once or twice, leave it at that. All right? So you've just got to remember, the 3 tips are be awareness, be aware of who and what and about yourself as well. Because you can't change the other person. You can't control the other person, what they do, but you can control what you can do to start with. 2, why is it happening? Get an understanding of, is it a bit of low self-confidence or self-esteem, or are you really trying to manipulate the situation? And 3, what to do about it. What can you do? If you're holding back, you need to work out why. You need to ask yourself, why can't I just say, I'm not comfortable with it, but go and do it? If it's trust issues, you've got to work on that, okay? So there's your 3 tips for this week. I hope they've been helped. As I was saying before, these can be a relationship killer, a relationship destroyer, as I said earlier on. And if you don't get these sorted, at the start of a relationship, they're cute. He does this little thing and she does this little thing. I tell you now, in 5 to 10 years' time, it's going to be the biggest thing. You're going to go, I can't stand when they do that. Why don't they just spit it out? This happens a lot. You need to get it under control. So to the 3 people who email those questions to me, I hope that has helped. Now, if you're watching this video and you get a lot out of it, don't be afraid to share it with friends and family and so forth. Hit the subscribe button, because if you subscribe, you'll get an alert each time we put these up every week. And you'll be able to see, be able to learn yourself, help other people. Maybe you need to let your partner watch this and maybe they might be able to pick up some tips about it as well. And yeah, if you have any questions, send them through to jay@jaysonmair.com. You can also visit the website at jaysonmair.com and check out what we do. But thank you again for watching this week's episode of Ask Jay. Hope these are helped. Go and work it out with your partner. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.